Hey again, everybody. I'm going to show us how to use SPSS to make filters, aggregate data, and then also restructure data today. Again, this is based on Dr. Mora's Intro to Stats class. I think today some things he went through pretty quickly. And of course, he recorded today's lesson, but the video is going to be very long. It might be hard to find this information, and so I thought it might just be more convenient to see it here. So, got IBM SPSS open. We're going to open the flanker file we got from NetCampus, or Campus Virtual, and click on Open there. And then we're going to see the data. So this has the subject number, the response time, and then the condition for each of these. So we've got the right congruent, right incongruent, and so on, again, as you should be familiar with. So the first thing that we needed to do is if you look down, there are still some negative numbers here. And so negative numbers just mean that the response was incorrect and we need to get rid of those. Last time we looked at how to do that by creating a new variable for accuracy. This time what he did was use the select cases function instead. So to do that, we'll go up to the top and click Data, and then come down near the bottom where it says Select Cases. So basically we're going to create a filter. And so we're going to select cases based on if the response time is greater than 0. So to do that, we can click on If Condition Satisfied, and we'll click here to put in our if statement. So if response time is greater than 0 is our if statement. And so that's going to select all cases that that's true for, and it's going to filter out all cases that it's not true for. You can continue and then OK. And let's look at our data again. Oh, voila. So you see the negative number now. There's a line through this number to tell us that it's being filtered out. And then also it does create another column where it says that it's not selected. So that's one way that you can filter data. I'm sure we'll see other ways of doing that too. Let me see. The next thing that we needed to do was to aggregate this data. Because right now we've got like just this huge number of response times for each of the conditions in each subject. So we want, instead of having 20 different for right congruent, 20 different for right incongruent, we want just the mean for all of those. And we can do that by aggregating the data. So to do that, we'll click again on Data. And then if we come down here, we'll find the option Aggregate. If you click on that, it'll open up this dialog box. So the summaries of variables is whatever you're going to have the mean of. So in that case, it's the response time. And so the break variables are how you want that divided up. So in this case, we want it divided by condition. We want all of the right congruents to be together. But we also want it by subject. You might reverse the order. I don't know if it matters or not. So you'll see each subject's response time is a mean for each condition. Now to do that, he wrote a new data file, which, again, we'll just create a different file. I'm going to do it with create a new data set. It's just going to keep it in this file, just so that I don't have to go looking for the file. I'll call that dataset ag for aggregate and click OK. All right, and then it's not popping up, but if I look for it down here, I'll find it. All right, and so you'll see now instead of having 80 items for subject 113, I've got 4. One for right congruent, one for right incongruent, left congruent, and left incongruent. And so the next thing that he did was restructure this data. So again, instead of having 4 like this, having just the subject is 1 row, and then you'll have 4 columns, 1 for each condition. Now to do that is trickier. Let's see if I can remember. Click on Data, and then we'll come down to Restructure. We'll click on that. I'm not going to save changes. Now it kind of shows you how things are happening. You can kind of tell visually that we're going to do the second option where we're taking some of these rows and we're turning them into columns. So we'll restructure selected cases into variables and click Next. So those columns are going to be the indexes. So the index variable will be the condition in this case. So you want a column for each condition that will include the response time. And we want them to still be identified by the subject, so we'll put that in the identifier variables section. Click next. Yes, we'll just click next here. And we can group by index just because that's how he did it. I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe we'll learn more about that at a different time. Click next. And I'm just going to restructure the data now, so click finish. Click OK. And there you have it. So now for the response times for right incongruent, or right congruent rather, which were number 1, we see them there. And yeah, so each row is just a single subject with 4 different means for their response times to each condition. And then, yeah, I think he went over the explore function in quite a bit of detail. So I'm not going to do that now, but if you do have any questions about it, just let me know, and I'll either get back to you, or I can make another video if lots of people are still unsure about that. But thank you all very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.